Now, Renka is a healing mentor, and she uses various skills, including stress management, dietary advice, and Reiki. That's putting it very broadly and very quickly. She speaks English, German, and has studied French philosophy and Russian. And most importantly, she healed herself from stage 4 endometriosis. And when we spoke, I was so amazed by how quickly she managed to help me to gain control of chronic pain, feel more in control of my world, to deal with it. And I just thought, wow, more people need to hear about the story, and more people need to understand how being able to deal with these sorts of very chronic illnesses yourselves is possible. So please tell us all about it.
Yes, so I've got a voice issue as well. So Kate and I both suffered, or I did suffer, not anymore, from an illness called endometriosis. It's basically when the cells in your womb start being outside your womb and react the same way in your abdominal cavity as they would do inside the womb. So you have bleeding every month internally. Obviously, the blood has nowhere to go. So it causes adhesion, scar tissues, horrendous pain. Some people compare it to labor pain. I've a few times been close to blacking out with the pain. And yeah, it's supposedly an incurable disease. It's a chronic condition that doctors just tell you you have to live with. And it's that in itself takes so much hope away from people. Hope is what we need to heal more than anything, and the belief that we can heal. So I always believed that healing was possible, and I didn't want to go down the operation route. I had stage 4 really severely. I was told the only way would be a full hysterectomy. They would have put me on HRT at the age of 34. There was a chance of them having to remove part of my bowel. Now, my dad had bowel cancer, so to me, and he lived with a stoma, so to me, anyone touching my bowel was just like, no way. So I never gave up hope, finding some sort of solution. And I then, on top of the endometriosis, developed a voice condition. So at the worst of it, I was in pain 2 weeks every month. It took 2 weeks after each period for the pain to calm down, to a point where, I was living a normal life. I had 2 weeks of that, and then the pain started again. After voice operation number 4 I had growth on my vocal cords, I ended up not being able to speak at all. The doctor said, medically, this operation had been a success, which I couldn't quite understand how that was possible if I wasn't speaking at all. But so I was very isolated. I couldn't communicate. I felt trapped in my own body. And there came a point where I just didn't want to live anymore. I really just thought, what is the point? There was just pain on pain on pain. And I just saw no point. I returned one night from the theater, and I'd left early because I was in such pain with endometriosis. I just wanted to get home. And I was going too fast into a bend. It was raining, nighttime on a country lane. And I realized as I was going into the bend, I was too fast. And it was almost like time stopped for a second, and I could see this tree appear in the headlights of my car. And for a split second, I could feel this thought was forming in my head that said, if you let go now, it'll all be over. And there was such joy at that thought of just not having to live anymore. I'd had suicidal thoughts for weeks before, thinking, tablets, how could I do it? But that car moment was such a shock. The next instant, my son's face appeared. He was 10 at the time. And at that moment, when I saw his face, it was almost like time started again. And I, took the steering wheel around and managed to kind of turn around. But luckily, it was a country lane and there was nobody there at night, so nothing happened. And I drove home, and that was the turning point. And I thought, right, if I decide that I do want to live for my son, I need to get my life back on track. And I researched, I found an article that actually a friend of mine had sent that connected endometriosis to cancer via a cell change called the Warburg effect. And my parents had both had cancer in Germany, so I was aware of a cell researcher called Joanna Budwig, who had developed a protocol to help cancer cells reverse this Warburg effect cell change. So I figured, well, if the same cell change happens for endometriosis as in cancer, then her protocol should work. I had no idea. I rang a clinic in Germany that I knew was working with the Budwig protocol, and they were like, well, we treat cancer patients. We have never treated anyone with endometriosis. But I decided I'm going to give this a shot. My gut instinct just said, this is it. This is what you've been searching for, waiting for probably 8 or 10 years. So I went to Germany and went to this clinic for a month, and it changed my life. I learned everything I teach today in that clinic, and I then went on and studied afterwards, but that was the game changer for me. And what was surprising, and I don't know what I expected, but I think what I didn't expect was what I got when I was there, which was meditating. We were singing mantras, we were doing laughing yoga, and they were seeing the body as energy. To them, the body was energy, the cells were energy, and a cell that was not healthy was vibrating at a lower frequency to a cell that was healthy. So their whole approach was to raise the vibrations in the cells. And you could do that. They had a machine that was a Papini machine that we used, but the easiest way of doing that was through positive thinking and through, finding your true purpose in life again, finding who you truly are, what you want to achieve in life, and reconnecting with yourself. And I think what I realized at the time was that people who had developed illnesses had lost a part of their own identity somewhere along the way in life, and they weren't truly connected with who they were anymore. So I learned this Budwig protocol, which they believed 80% of your healing is down to mind work and energy work in terms of positivity and your beliefs. What limiting beliefs do you have and hold? And how can we change those to make them powerful beliefs, for you to step back into the power we all hold within us? So, yeah, I came home. I was so passionate about everything I'd learned. Within 18 months, I'd got to a point of not having any symptoms after about years of suffering. I mean, I couldn't remember not having period pain from the minute I started periods at the age of 11. After 18 months of practicing what I'd learned, I had no symptoms. There was no pain. I could go to the gym when I had my period. So I qualified as a health and life coach.
I'm going to read you some of the messages that are flying in here.
Okay.
This is lovely. It says, such an inspiration, Benka, from Tina Lazarus, and from our Miriam here. She's our Mariam, rather. Bless you, Benka. I really admire your courage. Can you please send the article? And if you think this technique is healing help for other diseases, so please talk after this. And I'm blown away by it. I think it's amazing, and we all need to understand more about these very, very powerful but very simple techniques. That's the thing.
Totally. And I think that's what blew my mind, is how simple it was, and how so many women, 1 in 10 women is estimated to have endometriosis. We're not even talking cancer. There's so many chronic illnesses that people just don't have answers for. And what Budwig developed was such a simple protocol. Like, there is a nutrition part that is vegetarian diet, and a quark linseed oil mixture, which is just so simple, that basically restores the cell membranes of your cells back to health and puts them back into the communication loop of the body. You detox your body with bicarbonate soda baths. You know, it's like bicarbonate soda.
Yeah.
It's what you put
can
into
buy
cake.
it on the shelf in the supermarket.
Yes.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
And 80% is mind work. So it is finding something that helps you, and that can be meditation, yoga, whatever you're drawn to. I did shamanic work, I did Reiki. So there is so much out there that can help you. And creativity is a massive part of that.
Exactly. And there's a question here from Marguerite Horner. Is there a link with prayer in the practice to get positive mindset? So, you know, there mantras.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, there are so many things like mantra singing, om singing, affirmations.
Yeah.
I really feel part of my journey was definitely connecting with that which is greater than us.
Yeah.
You know, whatever religion you belong to, whether you call that God or an energy frequency or whatever name you want to give it, I think there is something there that is greater than us, that guides us. And our connection to that is through our heart. If you imagine your heartbeat sends out a vibration into the energy field constantly from the minute you're born till the minute you die. That is your connection to that energy field that we might call God or whatever you want to call it.
The sacred energy field.
The sacred energy field, yes.
Yeah.
And if you follow your heart and your instincts, I really truly believe that you will be well.
Yeah. And through communication like this, and through setting the path straight for people from, I mean, this is the beauty of the internet now. We can talk to Hera, we can talk to Marion, we can talk to Raven, we can talk to Imelda, we can be in a different country, and we can all share the same very positive intention. And you know, I really admire everything that you've done, and thank you so much for helping me, and you're amazing.
Thank you.
All right.